All right, there we go.
That was some unprofessional shit right there.
I was like, oh no.
This is what happens when you spend all night drinking instead of doing the thing that you said you were gonna do.
True.
And by you, I mean me.
I've had my fair share. I was doing some tequila shots earlier, which, you know, tequila.
What kind of tequila?
Shitty tequila.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't even know what kind it is. I bought the bottle like 2 months ago, and it's just been sitting there. Didn't have anything else, so I figured I'd try it.
Oop. That music sounded cool. You can't hear it, can you?
I don't know. The second we start talking, I mute the stream.
Oh, so you heard it before, though.
I did hear before. Yeah, it was nice. I was vibing out.
I'm cutting the music off. Okay. This is I don't know, what is this, the third? Fourth?
Fourth, I think.
This is the first episode of our new podcast. I'm calling it Don't Hate the Player. Don't hate the Player podcast. Don't anybody steal that because the website costs $2,000 right now. So I suppose if somebody wants to go spend the 2 G's first, then they're more than welcome to.
We'll be more than happy.
Yeah. So I think the major thing to talk about this week is that this week was the 25th anniversary of PlayStation existing in Japan, and we'll probably spend a good amount of time.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that was going to be like because a couple of these other ones are like, I feel like going to be pretty short. But,
yeah, so maybe maybe some of it'll tie in. But we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Mike's not here this episode. Maybe he'll get the notification and join in a little later. Who knows what could happen? Let's get weird. I'm drinking a cup of tea. It's midnight here on the east side of the United States.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing that pretty much everybody's doing and talking about is with 25 years of PlayStation, kind of what could be some memorable experiences and top games, things like that. There's a little bit of a generation gap between you and me. And I'm wondering when PlayStation actually what was your first experience with PlayStation?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm actually me and PlayStation share the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 1 year older than PlayStation.
Oh, really? So your birthday is the same day?
Yeah, it's the same
as the
day.
PlayStation anniversary.
Yep. So
that's
it was
right.
25. I'm 26.
That's crazy. I didn't even put that together the other day when you told me that it was your birthday. I'm just like, oh, yeah, podcast stuff.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was the day before because I think it might have been PlayStation's Twitter account, like, posted something like to celebrate 25 years or something on Monday. So I thought it was Monday, but I guess they just posted. Maybe it was, like, Japan time when they posted it. But, yeah, December 3rd. But to answer your question, I was like kind of too young for the PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
That one kind of skipped me, and then just by default, like I had a Nintendo 64, and then kind of evolution went into the GameCube. So I didn't get a PlayStation 2 until the PlayStation 2 Slim came out. That was my first experience with the PlayStation.
And tell me a little bit about how that came to be. Like, did you ask for that for somebody to buy? Did you save up for it and buy it with your own money? Like, how'd that work?
No, I don't like. I feel like, and this is gonna sound bad.
You were a kid and there was a PlayStation was there.
Well, no, it was like I think it was right around the time that my parents split up.
Okay.
And I feel like it was my dad trying to be like, hey, I kind of did your mom wrong, but here's a PlayStation. Like, I kind of feel like it was that because I remember it was
it's real talk out here. Yeah. Real shit. We're talking about real shit right now.
because my dad's really into cars, and I remember I got the PlayStation and
Gran Turismo 2.
Yeah, it was Gran.
Or Gran Turismo 3.
It was Turismo 3.
Sorry,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was Gran
A
Turismo
spec.
3. Yep.
Great
And
game.
so yeah, I think it was kind of like a don't like
You know, you
I'm
still want
cool
to come.
still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was one of those.
Um,
Uh,
you know, I would say that I have a similar experience. Not really in the sense that it was trying to be like flaunted, like, hey, check out what I have. But that just kind of was the thing. Like when I went over to my dad's house, there was the top of the line, like whatever the newest video
yeah.
game system that was out, that's what was over there. Like his friend, my dad's good friend, when I was younger, had a pawn shop. So like I remember there was like a
Oh,
Sega
okay.
Genesis with a 32X at my house. Like one day, just one day, I'm like, oh, there's a 32X here now, and like I
Yeah.
played it, and I'm like, this sucks, you know. And but that's how you learn. And you know, I told my dad one year for my birthday or something, I was like, I want a mountain bike. And he shows up with a mountain bike, you know? All right,
Yeah.
cool. And then I remember like 2 weeks after I got the mountain bike, I'm like, oh, I wanted a BMX bike instead. He's like, oh, I wish you would have told me. He's like, the BMX bike was sitting there right next to the mountain bike at, you know, this dude's pawn shop.
Yeah.
But so, anyway, getting way off topic back to the PlayStation. My dad had the PlayStation 1, and that was my first experience was Battle Arena Toshinden on PlayStation 1, which is like it's
That was
like
a
this.
launch game, right?
I think it was, and it was
Yeah.
like the um, predecessor to like the Soul Edge
Yeah.
games and Soul Blade, and what would become I can't think of it, with
Uh,
Maxi and Killick and Nightmare, the Dreamcast game.
yeah, I can't think of it either. I just want to say Dark Souls, but like obviously that's not it.
No, I feel like such an idiot right now.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. Yep. There we go.
Yeah. Um, but so yeah, I mean, even though you say that you kind of missed out on the PS1, have you had any experience with PS1 games? Because that's the proper place to start if we're gonna have a conversation about 25
Yeah.
years of PlayStation.
Yeah, definitely. My cousin actually had a PlayStation 1, and so when I would go over there, um I would play it. And then also like I did cuz the PlayStation 2 played PlayStation 1 games, so like I did go back and play a lot of PlayStation 1 games cuz just at the time it was like those were the cheaper ones, so those were the ones I got as a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um so but yeah, like I never physically owned a PlayStation 1 until I was later though.
Okay.
Um but I do have experience with it. Like I said, I'd go over to my cousin's house quite a bit, and we played, but like very weird games. Like I
So
feel like not your typical
yeah,
like
let's get into some games. Like
yeah.
what games, like PS1 games, do you fondly remember?
So there was a Hot Wheels game that I
Okay.
like played a lot at my cousin's house.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of cool. Like it was one of those like I wish they still made games like this where like each level had like like secret shortcuts, and like each level had secret cars that you could only unlock on those levels if you knew like the different shortcuts to take and things like that. It was a pretty fun game.
Okay.
Um,
Do you
but
remember
yeah, it
what it
was
was called?
it, I can look it up.
I mean,
Um,
I'm on it.
yeah, I just remember it was like a Hot Wheels branded game.
Hot Wheels Turbo Racing.
Uh, I just need to see the cover art, and I can tell you. Yes, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing
Okay.
was the game.
All right.
Um, so that was pretty fun. Like definitely remember playing a lot of that. My cousin did have Crash Bandicoot, the first one,
Okay.
so definitely played a lot of Crash Bandicoot. I was terrible at it, but I definitely remember playing it.
I got, I've got Hot Wheels Turbo Racing playing on the.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was a fun little like I can't even uh, contest to like how good of like if it holds up or anything. I just remember playing it as a kid and being like, "This is pretty cool." Like I said, like all of the tracks had secret pathways you could take, and like you could unlock cars uh, depending on like what paths you took in the level. Um,
The loading screens are relentless, but here let's check out
yeah,
some gameplay from
there we
Hot
go.
Wheels Turbo Racing. Are you seeing it pretty much right as I'm talking about it?
Yeah,
It says three, two, one,
two,
go.
one, yeah.
All right, so that's yeah. We're actually looking at it pretty much at the same rate. That's cool. Technology's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
see, there's like a bunch of different like pathways
Oh, a
and
little
jumps and
backflip.
shit. Like, yeah, you could do tricks. There's power ups.
Oh, this
Um,
doesn't look that bad. This looks pretty good.
yeah, no, it was like I said, as a kid, it was super fun. Like,
Yeah,
um,
this looks great. Actually, for I never played this. Oh,
yeah, I played a
I
lot of.
mean,
This was like the
I don't
because
know. I don't know that it would hold up, but it does look like it
yeah,
could have
yeah.
been. Wow, we're going in reverse. That was crazy.
Um, it was
This guy.
I guess my PlayStation One experience is going to be mostly like games that you could do two player because
Yeah,
I played at my cousin's house. So like Crash Bandicoot's kind of like an exception, but like most of the games are going to be like a lot of racing games, stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, Crash Bandicoot. How do you talk about the PS1 without talking about Crash
Yeah,
Bandicoot?
exactly. See, I kind of disappointed because like it's cool to go back and look at it, but I kind of missed the whole like I was just too young to get the whole like Crash Bandicoot commercials and
Oh
all
yeah,
that stuff. It's just like all that
I remember that
marketing and
shit though when he was standing outside the Nintendo
yeah,
office and taunting Mario, basically.
yeah, all that went over. I was too young for that stuff, but um, yeah, like I probably only got past like the second or third level in there as a kid.
I played the shit out of this game. The second one and third one, admittedly, as big of a Naughty Dog fan as I am, I didn't really touch those too much.
Yeah.
It was Crash 1 and Crash Team Racing for me was the two that I just played so much of. But what a
Um.
fantastic looking game this is. I mean, they remade it and I could see why because
Yeah.
it was all there already and this just looks so good for the PS1. Like no
Yeah.
wonder this was a system seller, you know. This
No,
this is the
completely.
exact level that you play in Uncharted 4 too,
Yeah.
by the way.
Uncharted 4. Um. No, it's fun too because it takes something that you're familiar with, but like flips it where it's like, oh, like I've played like you know 2D platformers where you just press everybody's played Mario that kind of stuff, and then it's like, but this is a completely different take on it because it's like that weird 3D early
Yeah.
transition time,
Yeah.
but they did some cool stuff with it. Uh,
Um for me, PS1 when I think about the PS1, I think about I'm going to play actually a little bit of that Battle Arena Toshinden.
oh yeah, yeah. I can't remember where I heard about. Like, I definitely have seen like footage of this game. I never played it, but like, I don't remember if it was. I was watching a review of it or like somebody stream it one time or something. But I know quite a bit about it for some reason.
So yeah, this is kind of like it's a fighting game with weapons, very arcadey, and it was very early 3D polygon. You could move around. You could not only move left and right, but you could move like up and down, like kind of dodges and stuff. It was fun as hell. I loved this game.
I just love like that's one thing about the PlayStation One era of games is like they all have this like uh, art style to them that just like I feel like it's very like you see a game, and if you didn't tell me what this was on, I'd just be like, yeah, this is a PlayStation 1 game. Like you can just kind of tell by the art style, the way the characters look and stuff. But,
Sorry, I'm just
no, you're good. I'm trying to think of other PlayStation 1 games I played on the PlayStation 1.
Did you play Gran Turismo?
I played Gran Turismo 2.
Great game.
That was another one my cousin had. Um, yeah, great game. Like, I don't know. I feel like for a while there, just kind of took Gran Turismo like owned the racing genre.
All right, I was fucking with some bullshit.
No, you-
How about Tenchu? Do you remember Tenchu Stealth Assassins?
no.
Okay, so that game, that's something that is worth talking about, I think. Tenchu is a game where you play as like a ninja in Imperial Japan.
Oh, and you're on like rooftops, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I
Ten-
might have played this.
This game is phenomenal.
Seems familiar.
So let me pop this on the screen real quick. This is it's like stealth based, but you got to perform like executions and stuff, and you could fight people one on one, but it's way better if you sneak up on them and then kind of silently take everybody out.
Yeah.
A very, very, like, this was, I think, after Metal Gear Solid, but just like this is what else a stealth game can be.
Yeah.
Because its main focus is primarily stealth. Let me see if I can. Like, it had some cool story elements to it too. There was all kinds of different weapon pickups. You could get the little barbs that you drop on the ground and set traps. You could get smoke bombs, shurikens. Take people out from a distance.
Yeah.
I think there was a grappling hook, maybe. That might have been the second one. But your main weapon is the katana blade. Yeah, and just the setting. It was really cool.
I remember the rooftops.
Yeah. Did you have any experience with Bushido Blade?
No, that's another one that I hear people talk about all the time, and I've never played it before. What's that? There's that one game they announced that's still like supposed to come out on the PlayStation 4. Whenever that trailer dropped, like everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is Bushido Blade," and then it ended up not being Bushido Blade. Forgot the name of that game, but
yeah. So this is Bushido Blade. If you want to take a look at the screen, it's,
yeah,
it was weapon-based combat, but very realistic. Where like, if you get stabbed in the stomach, that's it. There's no life bar. It's just like. It's realistic damage. Like, if somebody chops you in the face with a sword, you're gonna die in one hit.
yeah.
But this is weird. This this is like some sort of speed run or something that we're looking at.
Yeah, you're just running through. Now, isn't there like some type of like supernatural thing to this game as well? Like, I feel like that's the thing that I feel like people talk about a lot when this game comes up, is that like it's, I don't know, kind of hard because I've never played it before, but I feel like people always feel like, oh, like you can turn into a demon or something. I don't know.
This just kind of looks like people running away from each other.
Yeah, this.
But I think this is more in line with what the gameplay is like. all about like Oh, yeah. So you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bushido Blade. Pretty cool.
Another big one for me that I remember
Uber.
playing
Hey.
on what up Uber on PlayStation 1 was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I know we talked about that a little bit last week,
Mm-hmm.
but that was another big one.
Um,
Uh,
Tony
but
Hawk is you can't talk about video games without talking about Tony Hawk games. That's just it's it's like I'm losing my train of thought here because I'm still looking at this Bushido Blade footage. It's a staple in gaming because it wasn't just like it happened in a time when skateboarding was very popular,
yeah,
but it was kind of like if you were a skater and you were out skating all day and then you got home from a day of skateboarding, you would like sit down and play Tony Hawk and skate like the way that you wanted to, and then the next day you would go out and try and emulate what you played in the game, you know.
yeah,
It was a magical time for gaming and skateboarding,
and the soundtrack.
and the
Amazing.
soundtrack was impeccable.
Yeah, so good.
Perfection.
Um, there are a couple like big ones that I feel like I didn't like. Did you play Symphony of the Night?
I didn't. I've never played that game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've never played it either. I hear amazing things about it, but it's passed me up. I've never played it.
I have some heavy hitters in the collection that are maybe not as popular, but more highly sought after. Like a really good game is In the Hunt, where it's you play as like submarines, and it's like a side-scrolling shooter.
Mm-hmm.
It's made by the company that would eventually become the company that made the Metal Slug games, and it plays just like Metal Slug. So it's like a cartoony style submarine, and you have like two types of weapons. You could pick up weapon upgrades. It's like bullet hell style, like dodging everything, and just get from the beginning of the level to the end of the level. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure I have, which is like a wild fighting game.
I actually just started watching JoJo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a fun little anime.
yeah. That's probably the rarest game that I own. Those two actually, but another one. You were with me when I picked that up at the Retro World Expo. Was Einhander. We played it back at my place.
Yeah.
It's a cool game. 3D,
Yeah, that one is cool.
2.5D, shooter. Also made by SquareSoft though.
Yeah.
Cool game. I mean, PlayStation 1 was great, and a lot of people don't know this. I mean, I'm sure a good amount of people here would recognize that the PS1 is touted amongst audiophiles who wanted to play their CDs in high quality playback. When you buy the first model that has the AV outputs in the back, considering the price point, it was a very cheap way to get into some high fidelity audio quality from your CDs, which is kind of prophetic in a way because the PS2 did the same thing for DVDs.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
everybody's cheap entry point.
Yeah, the PlayStation 2 when I got it definitely ended up becoming like the family DVD player.
And so, I mean, no better time than right now to switch gears and.
Well,
okay.
Before we move on, I did want to bring up there was a good segue here into one of our other topics that we can just get into a little bit real quick.
Okay.
Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, Resident Evil 3.
I played Resident Evil 2 a lot on
the original PS1.
On the original PS1.
Mm-hmm.
Never played Resident Evil 3, but they just basically like confirmed it. Like a rumor came out last week that said that Resident Evil 3 was coming out, and then PlayStation leaked like the box art for the game.
Right.
and then they also announced that that whatever the Nintendo Direct is that PlayStation does. I always forget the name
Oh,
of it.
State of Play.
They're doing one on Tuesday, and it's
Yep.
like the Game Awards said that Resident Evil 3 remake isn't going to be there, so it kind of makes it seem like that's like it that's the like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 7 got announced at PlayStation stuff, so like it kind of makes sense there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
it
probably some weird exclusivity deal that Sony has.
Yeah, like the marketing for
But it's so
Resident
dumb.
Evil
It's
is
like
on
you're
that
you're
thing.
not fooling anybody. Like
Yeah,
apparently people sign non-disclosure agreements and they don't mean anything because somebody always leaks the fucking news that isn't supposed to leak. Like
yeah.
how is how is there
Well, this
always a
one was
leak?
weird too because it's like typically you might see like
Oh yeah,
a
this was put
screenshot
up
leak
on
or
the
something.
PlayStation Store.
This was like literally the box art for the game, like the the like cover
But it
art
was on
for
the
the game.
PlayStation Store, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
PlayStation fucked up and put it up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
That's almost like that's like 99.99999% sure that
yeah.
it
Um,
absolutely is happening.
I will say that like I big fan of Resident Evil 2, both the original and the remake. And
Okay.
the remake was like amazing. I think it's probably gonna win some awards uh
Yeah.
this year.
It's at least going
But
to be talked about because it's already been nominated for
yeah,
several.
exactly. And so if it's in that same engine, like from what I understand, Resident Evil 3 takes place in Raccoon City as well. It's just different characters so it's like if I feel like if they planned it out well enough when they were making Resident Evil 2 remake, like I can see that being such a quick turnaround time for
I
it,
mean, they could just
and
use the
it's
same
like
engine.
exactly, and it's the same engine. Like that game looked really good. Like I'm excited for it, but yeah, I never got to play it on the PlayStation One.
Yeah, I didn't play. I really only ever played the original Resident Evil as a kid.
See,
And
I played the original remake on the
okay,
GameCube,
right, okay.
so it's kind of weird. Like I played Resident Evil 2 first, and then the remake after. Uh, just skipped 3.
Yeah, I think to sum it up, I mean, but my experience on the PS1 was all kind of like, I guess when you really think about it, similar to what I like to play today. I
Yeah.
fucked around a lot with Gran Turismo 1 and 2, like a lot. I
Hmm.
played Medieval, I played Crash,
Never played Medieval either.
Crash Team Racing. You know, I
Yeah.
played MTV Music Generator a lot
Ooh,
on the PS1. Yep.
never even heard of that one.
Yeah, it's basically just like a beat maker. That's all it is.
That's
It's
pretty
like
cool.
yeah, it's dope. And I have that now and I also have the mouse for the PlayStation. So I might have to bust that out one day and
Dude, that'd be
stream
pretty
that
sick to make a beat on
on the PlayStation.
PlayStation One.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be dope.
I had a
Um,
friend who was nasty at it. He would just make like all kinds of shit. But Parappa, I had fond memories of playing Parappa. Um,
Parappa, Spyro, I definitely played.
yep, Spyro.
Twisted Metal.
Oh my God, we played Twisted Metal at the expo. That was fun
Yeah,
as
yeah, that
hell.
was fun. That was super fun.
What
There's
else
a
do we?
bunch. Ridge Racer, I definitely played. Like I feel like the PlayStation One was like prime like racing
Oh
games.
yeah, Gran Turismo and Ridge Racer alone were like
Yeah,
out of control. Then you had all those like F1 games, and there was so many dirt bike games, and
hmm
yeah, a lot of cool shit. Final
there's a
Fantasy
lot
7,
of good
8,
games.
and 9 were all
Yeah,
on
I see.
PS1.
Those are other ones I've never played.
Chrono Cross, which I never played, but is like cult following on that one.
Yeah, I've also never played Chrono Cross.
Uh, I played Sim City a lot. SimCity 2000 on the PS1. It sucked, but it was fun at the
Yeah,
time. Uh,
Silent Hill, I played.
yeah. Oh, I
Took me a
remember
while.
playing like Tiger Woods Golf and
Oh,
early Battlefield games. I think that or were they SOCOM?
SOCOM.
Uh,
Siphon Filter was on
Siphon
PS1.
Filter. Yeah, that's right.
Played Siphon Filter.
Medal of Honor. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Maybe I don't. I think Siphon Filter might have been the only like shooter that I played.
I remember playing Bubsy 3D.
Never played
One
that.
of the
I've
worst
seen
games
the game,
ever.
but I've never played it. Yeah. Um,
I had this bowling game, 10 Pin Alley. I played the shit out of that.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that game was cool. I think I have it now. I have to bust that out one of these days too.
Yeah.
Oh, Courier Crisis. That was a game that I played the shit out of. It was like sponsored by GT bicycles,
Hmm.
and you were a courier and you were delivering packages, but you did it on a bike. And I was looking at the manual for that game one day because I turned onto a street in the game Courier Crisis, and I realized that like every time you turn onto a street, at the bottom corner of the screen it would say the street name that you were on,
Hmm.
just like Grand Theft Auto does. And I turned onto a
That's awesome.
street that was called Hauser Street. And Hauser is the last name of the two guys who basically like created Grand Theft Auto,
Hmm.
Dan Hauser and Sam Hauser. So I
Yeah.
look in the manual, and there's a guy named Sam Hauser that's credited for like some art direction or something in that game. And I'm like, is it possible that, because I couldn't find it on the internet, but I'm like, is this where he started? Because the game is pretty much you're riding this bike through city streets,
Yeah.
and you can kind of like cause a little bit of terror with your bike, like doing jumps over cars, and I think you can like kick people,
Yeah.
and the point is to like get through traffic and deliver your packages before the timer runs out. It really is like an early um,
Grand Theft
predecessor
Auto.
to like what Grand Theft Auto would eventually become, because Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
don't forget, was on the PS1. The original
Yeah.
Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto. I mean, it was
I
on the
I didn't
PC
play those.
too, but that game is fun. That game
Yeah.
is fun, and it's like very old style graphics, and yeah. Let me tell you though, we've been talking for a half an hour about the PS1, and that's
I
working
know.
out pretty well, because if we do a 2 hour show,
Yeah. Right.
and we got four consoles to talk about. Well, in the handhelds maybe a little bit, but let's get onto that PS2 shit, because
Yeah.
that was a
PS2 is
beast.
a
I mean,
beefy one.
that's still to this day the best-selling console of all time.
Yep.
And when you look at the list, it's kind of dominated by Sony consoles.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't
I
count
think
handhelds, it's the PS2, then the PS1.
I think the PS4 just passed the PS1, right?
Oh right, PS4, then the
Yeah.
PS1,
Yeah.
and then I think the PS3, right?
Yeah. I think the Wii might be in there
Oh yeah,
somewhere
the
in between
Wii.
those,
The
but
Wii. You're right. The Wii.
yeah.
The Wii is Nintendo's best-selling console of
'Cause,
all
like the
time.
PlayStation 3 had like some kick there at the end where like I think it got up higher than the 360.
Right. But it's just crazy that PlayStation almost was an accessory for the Super Nintendo,
Yeah, right.
and
Crazy.
what we got instead was just a force to be reckoned with. And the PS2 is proof of that. PS2,
There's so many games. Like
and that
PS2
thing
is
was beefy
ridiculous.
when it came out, but people were going nuts about it.
Yeah.
I like
See,
how
I never had the big one with like the switch on the back and stuff. I knew people that had it, but I
mm,
had the little tiny one. It was like super nice. You didn't have to worry about like flicking the switch on and off. It had the like the top that opened up
right.
for the games. Like it was nice.
You had this
Oh,
one.
there you go. Yep. Yeah. No, it was nice. I actually think I didn't have the black one. I had the silver. Like the one
Yeah,
that I
there's
got.
one over there. Actually, you've got a PlayStation over here too.
Right. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I had the silver one, and like I don't even know where to start with the games on the PlayStation 2. It's like
I'm thinking like
ridiculous.
what instantly comes to mind for me is stuff like Final Fantasy X, Gran Turismo 3 and 4,
Grand Theft
uh,
Auto
Grand Theft Auto
3, Vice
3,
City,
Vice
San
City, San
Andreas,
Andreas. Yes, all those.
uh,
I think
Need
of
for
like,
Speed.
oh yeah, Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Underground 2.
See, Most Wanted was my favorite. It was
Cool
right
game.
after Underground 2,
Yep.
and to me that was like the last good one they made. Like after that, they kind of started to fall off to me.
I played ATV versus MX a lot.
Yeah, those games were fun.
Uh, wow, I think there was a really cool Ninja Turtles game on PS2. It was like cell shaded graphics. It was a lot of fun.
Um,
What else?
I remember having like a revelation moment with
Oh, Metal
Metal
Gear
Gear Solid
Solid
3.
2. Oh,
Oh,
wow, that was
see,
crazy that we said
yeah,
that, but I
yeah.
was saying 2. But 3
For
is
me, it was
amazing.
3. Yeah, like it actually. That was one of the ones where I played 3 and I liked it so much that like I like whenever I got money, I went back and got 1 and 2 to play on the PlayStation 2 because like I liked 3 so much.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2 kind of. I remember not liking it at first when I first started, and I realized that you weren't going to play as Snake for the
yeah,
majority of the game. I was like, this is bullshit. By the end of it, I was like, nope, that totally worked. That was
yeah.
awesome. That's when I used to actually finish video games. Oh,
Yeah,
the
right.
Tony Hawk games that came, like when you started getting Tony Hawk 4 and Tony Hawk's Underground, and
Yeah.
oh man,
See,
everything changed.
yeah, like see, that's a weird one for me because I know that like people are very and I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Like I think that one is like a you have to hold it up in high regard, but like uh the like PlayStation 2 Tony Hawk games are like that was like my you know breadbasket there. Like I played
Yeah.
all of them. Um but like American Wasteland was definitely my favorite because there was no just level to level. There was no load screens.
Yep.
And that was like my favorite part of that game was like I can just go anywhere. This is awesome. And I also what's the is it Underground? What are the Tony Hawk games? There
Yeah.
was one where they come to Tampa and like it was so weird to me because I
Yeah.
had been to the Tampa skate park before and I was like, dude, this is in the game. Like
Yeah.
it's like mind blowing. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. You can't really talk about any gaming system from those eras without bringing up how impactful Tony Hawk was to the whole thing. It just kept on
Yeah.
going. It couldn't be stopped to a point.
Yeah.
As soon
Yeah,
as you
like
started selling it with plastic skateboards that you set up on your
I
floor.
feel like it was like once we got past the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 started and then
Yeah, and you got skate.
yeah.
But
God of War?
PS2. Oh, you know what? You want to know something that I played on PS2? Probably for hundreds of hours. Was
What?
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
1
yeah.
and 2.
Yep.
So much. I played them so much.
Yeah.
I kind of was one of those Guitar Hero nerds for a while. I was playing on Expert and shit. Wild.
I had a weird thing where like I was really into like wrestling at the time, and so there's some pretty good like WWE games on the PlayStation 2. I don't even remember that. Like I think they might have been going by year at that point. Like it might have been like SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 or 2007, whatever. But like there's some good ones in there that are they were pretty fun.
PlayStation 1 and 2 had Hot Shots golf games, which were awesome. Always awesome.
I didn't get into those until later.
Let's see. I can just turn around and look at the wall. Oh, SSX. Man.
Oh, yes.
Oh my
Fantastic.
God. So good.
Fantastic. There was like a period in my life where I went through like this Rockstar phase where like it was like I had gone through all the Grand Theft Auto games and I was like, what can I play next? And then I went into the Warriors, which is a Rockstar game that's really good. It's like based off the movie, but it's like a prequel to the movie. And I hadn't seen the movie at the time. I was probably too young to watch it, but like I ended up going over to a friend's house and his mom just didn't care, so we rented it and watched it. But like playing that game before the movie and then watching the movie, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
That's cool. Let's not forget Jak and Daxter 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper,
yeah,
all
all of those.
those. A lot of
Bully
good stuff.
was
Bully
another
was
Rockstar
great.
one.
Yep.
That's great. I saw like a just a quick little side thing. I saw like maybe a couple months ago that somebody came out and said that like they were maybe 6 or 7 months into making a Bully 2 for like this generation, and then it got scrapped, and the team went to go work on Red Dead 2 instead. But
Mm.
I was like, damn, like
So close.
yeah, that would have been fun. That game was up there
Um,
for me.
Man, the PS2, there was just so much good stuff. I remember that game Black.
Black, yeah.
So good.
Oh, the Splinter Cell games.
Yeah.
The Splinter
Wait,
Cell
those
games
weren't
were
Xbox
fun.
only?
No, no. There was Splinter Cell on the original Xbox that I think was only on Xbox, but I definitely played let's see. Splinter Cell PS2. Chaos Theory was the one that I played on PlayStation 2.
Man, I'm looking up at this wall of remember those games Destroy All Humans
Yeah, yeah. They just
and
remastered those, I think.
Devil May Cry.
I see. I never got into Devil May Cry,
So good. So
which
good.
I
Burnout,
and
Burnout was on PS2.
oh, dude, Burnout, Midnight Club.
Yeah, that's another Rockstar one.
Yeah, dude, those racing games, man. Need for Speed, Midnight Club,
Oh
Burnout.
man,
That was my thing. I
what
was
a
also
beast
pretty
of a
big into
system.
like Madden back then. So like every year I just get the new Madden.
See, and that was
Like
the
no
thing. Like,
difference back then.
it kind of backfired on us too because oh yeah, Madden piggybacking off of each year. That's where that
Yeah.
started. I mean, not really, but started on like Sega
Well,
Genesis.
especially you don't even realize, but back then it was like literally there's like other than like swapping players from team to team in the off season, there's like almost no difference between those games. Like
Yeah,
you can go through them. It's like this is the exact same game as last year, but the players on different teams.
yeah,
Like,
um, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say is it kind of backfired. We all used the excuse of like, oh, buy me this game system because it's also a DVD player. But then you'd be in there playing games on it, and your
yeah,
parents might come in and be like, "Hey, get off the fucking DVD player. We're about to watch a
exactly.
movie." You know,
Yeah,
so it worked both ways. I mean, what a beast, though. What a beast of a machine.
big beast. Yeah, Max Payne.
Yeah,
Another
Max
one.
Payne is a good one. I mean, it's like endless.
Yeah, there's so many like the
Kingdom Hearts
PlayStation
1 and
2,
2.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Mr. Mosquito,
Dude, Def Jam.
Def Jam, Vendetta, and the sequel, Fight for New York.
Oh, the Dragon Ball Budokai games.
Tenkaichi or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, dude, those are so good. I was a huge Dragon Ball fan back then. Yeah, there's so many. The PlayStation 2 is like, and then you get into like weird like obscure games where it was like I feel like that was the perfect era of like going to GameStop and literally having no idea what it like. Just hey, this box art looks cool. I'm gonna pick up this because it's $5. Like I did that with Mark Echoes.
Getting
Uh,
Up.
Getting Up, yeah.
Is that game good?
No, it's complete shit. I only got it because it was like at that point in my life I was like I thought I was like real like edgy and like oh dude I'm gonna go out and graffiti shit like because I was like coming off of like I think it was like Tony Hawk Underground 2 where you could like tag shit and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the Warriors had like a whole tagging system and like it was just like that was like kind of an interest that I had and then this guy was like yeah this thing's cool and I
Yeah.
ended up getting that and it was not like anything that you'd want to play and I know that Resident Evil 4 is like a GameCube game but I played it on PlayStation 2 and that's my favorite Resident Evil game. That was super fun. I think that might have been the first Resident Evil game that like I actually finished all the way through and then like played again to get like alternate cutscenes and shit. Like,
Mm.
that was a fun one.
Man, Katamari.
Katamari.
There was a few good Tekken games on there. Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur, yeah.
Soul
What
Calibur
was
2
the
and 3.
character for the exclusive character for
Oh,
Soul Calibur?
because what was it? GameCube
It was
had
Link. For, yeah,
Xbox had Spawn,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or was that the third one? Oh, it was Heihachi, wasn't it? From Tekken?
I don't remember.
I think it was
Soul
Heihachi.
Calibur 2, I think. I don't know.
Can't find it?
No.
Even if you go Soul Calibur
PS2.
2, PS2, exclusive character,
Yeah.
Heihachi. Just like I said. What'd I tell you?
Yeah, a lot of good. I feel like the PlayStation 2 was also like my first like big boy console in my head, where it was like I was coming off Nintendo. I got this PlayStation 2. I'm like, I'm not into these kid games anymore. Like, I'm gonna play the cool shit. Like, so yeah, the PlayStation 2 holds a special place in my heart.
I guess there's not really too much more to say. It went through a redesign. We got the slim version. So it's two consoles in a row. I mean, pretty much every PlayStation has had two or more models of every console, right?
PlayStation 3 had 3, I think.
Well, you got the original PlayStation comes out with the smaller redesigned PS1. They called it.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 had the PS2 Slim.
Yep.
But also in Japan they had the PSX, which was it was. So type in PSX Japan or like PSX DVR. Try that.
DVR. Yeah, this thing's weird looking too.
Do you see what it is though?
Yeah, it looks like a dev kit.
What it is a very early DVR, so it's got a hard drive in it. You could record TV onto that, but it also had a PS2 built into it, so you could play PS2 games on your DVR. That was the whole point.
Dude, I like that white
DualShock. Yeah, I know. With the remote too. You see the remote that goes with it?
It's nice.
It is real
That was
nice.
another thing we definitely had. Like, it was the PlayStation Remote. Came in that, like, yellow box
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Had one of those.
The DVD remote. I think I've got that new in the box over there somewhere.
I feel like my parents got, like, pissed off at me eventually for, like, fucking with the controller too much while we're watching DVDs. I'd, like, kick the controller and hit the trigger and, like, start fast-forwarding or something. They're like, all right, we got to get this controller.
Yeah, and they also had all the cool colors, the auto. What was it? It was like the auto something competition colors. It was like a blue PS2,
light pink, light blue.
It was like a royal blue, blood friggin' red, canary yellow.
Dude, the red one's really nice, and I also like the yellow one. The yellow one's pretty sick.
They're all cool. I mean, then there was a white one, Arctic White.
Oh, there's a yellow DualShock, dude. I want this.
Oh, each console came with the color DualShock
I don't know. The yellow one might be the best one. The PS2 with the like teal on the outside of the yellow looks so nice.
What do you think? Moving on over to
Moving on to
PS3.
PS3. Yeah.
Actually, no. I guess we kind of need to mention the PSP first,
PSP. I
because that
always
came
wanted
out.
one, but I never,
I
never got
remember
it.
I bought one like late in its life cycle, and I got into a car accident, and my car was totaled,
Hmm.
and the PSP was in the glove box when the tow truck came and took it. It was a
Oh man.
minivan actually. I had all kinds of shit in the back of the minivan. I spent like a good like 30 minutes like collecting stuff out of the back of this minivan, and I
Yeah.
left the PSP with like every game that I had in a little travel
There.
case in the glove box. And when I went back to the car the next day to see if I could get it out of there, it was gone already. And we had already given the car to the towing company, so it was legally
Yeah.
theirs to take.
Yeah.
That bummed me out,
Lots of
but
lots of good games that I've heard on the PSP. But
Crisis Core, I think, is the one that immediately comes to mind. That was the Final Fantasy VII spin-off or prequel, whatever.
Yeah.
Great game,
Um.
so good. I love it.
There's also Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. It's like
I
everybody
never
talks
played
about
it.
that game.
I never
Everybody
played
says
it.
that's like
Yeah.
so good, but like some people say that's their favorite Metal Gear game.
There's a Gran Turismo game on the PSP that's pretty good. I feel like there was a medieval game, but it was just kind of like the first one all over again. So, yeah, the PSP, I had one. I didn't play it too much. I've been playing actually Luminous or Lumens, however you say
Yeah.
that. That's a fun game. It's like a rhythm-based kind of puzzle block
Yeah.
matcher game.
I think there was a couple that like I've played Loco Roco and Patapon
Okay.
on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, right on.
Uh,
But those are
but those
PSP
are
games.
PSP games and
Yeah.
they're both rhythm based. Like I think that was like kind of that was like coming off like like Guitar Hero and that was like rhythm games were really like a thing and it seemed like it was like a perfect little console for it.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
but yeah, I didn't. I never had one. I always wanted one, but never got one.
No time like the present, my friend.
Yeah. No, you know what I want is I want one of those ones that it's all digital.
Oh, the PSP Go.
The PSP Go. They're so cool.
They're cool. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
expensive still. They're like over
they
$100
are.
for those things.
That's why I haven't got one.
It's probably pretty hard to get games on it too
Yeah.
now, without like hacking it or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is what I would do if I had one, I think. Um, let's see what else was there. There was the like Daxter, the Jack and Daxter spin-off.
Yeah.
You had
There was two God of War games.
yep, those were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the shit out of those actually. Um,
There was also some like wasn't there like Grand Theft Auto games on there
yeah,
too?
yeah. They had
China Stories or something like that.
Chinatown Wars, but they also
Chinatown
had
Wars.
Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories,
Yeah.
which were also on the PS2. Um,
I'm just going through the list here. Did you ever get into the Persona games?
no,
Yeah,
man, I'm
neither.
fading early tonight because we started too late. I was get fucked up earlier. Um, yeah, no, I played the first Persona on PS1 where I rented it a couple of times. I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. I would actually kind of like to try it again today, but it's a hard to find game.
There's a Crash game on the PSP.
Yeah, I think that's when
Crash of the
after
Titan.
oh
Yeah, this is
when Activision bought it.
Activision. Yeah.
Um, PSP. I got a few of them. I
It's
mean,
not even a platform. The genre is beat 'em up action adventure. Interesting.
wow, we didn't talk about Assassin's Creed on the PS2, but there's PSP game, Assassin's Creed PSP game.
I thought I thought Assassin's Creed was PS3. I didn't realize it was. Are we sure?
I mean,
think it's
God of War. Oh, wait, Assassin's Creed, maybe. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed is PS3.
Then what is this? Yeah, there's totally a PSP game though. Assassin's Creed PSP game.
Well, I think didn't they overlap, right? So like the
Yeah, I guess.
PSP went into the PS3 life cycle.
Mhm. Yeah, that's crazy. But God of War was a PS2, which is crazy.
Yeah,
To
God
think
of War
about.
isn't one
One
and
and
two
two.
are PS2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember God of War 1 when it came out. I was like two, like my parents wouldn't get that for me. Like,
No.
like I don't know. Like there was this weird thing. Like it was so like it didn't make sense back then. Like I wasn't allowed to get God of War, but then my mom bought me Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like where are we drawing the line here? Like,
Was it
uh,
because
I think it might have just been because the name God of War. It was like, oh no, that's too bad.
is it
I don't
because
know.
because the word God and the word war are in the same?
Yeah, honestly, I don't. I just remember that it was like a no, you can't have that one.
Wow. It's really not as bad as Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
I just think, honestly, I think like my mom probably thought that Grand Theft Auto was, oh, it's a car game. Like, probably, I don't know. I remember when the whole like hot coffee thing
Yeah.
like got big. Like, I remember my mom like came in and like took Grand Theft Auto away from me. But at that point, like, I'd already like kind of gone through playing it.
Yeah.
But I
You
just
were
remember
done
I
with it?
didn't notice it. Like I didn't notice it was missing. I remember one day like I went into the like closet in the hallway to get a towel, and like I pulled the towel out, and like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas fell out, and I was like, "What is this in here for?" And then I just I was like, I guess maybe I put it in here, and a couple weeks later, like my mom saw it, and she was like, "Where did you get that?" And I was like, "I don't. What do you mean?" And then like I put it together. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
she doesn't want me to play this."
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Uh, I was probably I don't know, like 10.
Oh, really?
Let's see.
Oh, that makes sense.
When did the PS2?
I don't know. I'm terrible with that shit.
Uh, let's see. Because I got the PS2 Slim like when it came out. So the PS2 Slim came out August 2008. So I would have been. No, that can't be right. Is it?
Um,
No. Okay. I don't know. I'm getting very conflicting dates here. One says 2008 and the other one says 2004.
what?
So I'm so confused. It definitely wasn't 2008. 2008, I would have been in like 10th grade or 8th grade. So it was before that for sure.
October 26, 2004.
Yeah. Okay. So in 2004, yeah, I would have been 10 at the time. So definitely should have probably not been playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but oh well.
Oh, well. Played it
Uh,
anyway.
yeah.
That's a great game. But we were talking about PSP. So the PS3 came along, was announced way overpriced.
And definitely wanted one, but couldn't get it. Like,
Xbox.
fuck you.
Yeah, the PS3 was the first console I ever bought with my own money, I think. Yeah.
I think me too. Yeah.
And what game did I buy? Oh, I think I bought Uncharted. Yeah, that was a good day. I went and bought the PS3, a couple of games, and a new TV. Because I had worked like 175 hours in 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah. And I had these two huge paychecks back to back. And I was like, I'm going to buy myself a TV and some video games. That was cool. But yeah, fuck, man, so many PS3 games. Where do we start?
Yeah.
Killzone, GTA
Killzone,
4,
GTA 5.
GTA
Um,
5, yeah.
GTA 5, yeah. I
Final
actually
Fantasy
returned
13.
I returned GTA 5
Did you?
because I thought it was broken because I put the install disk in and it just stayed at 2% for like 5 hours, and I was like, "Oh, clearly I got a fucked up copy," and so I took it back. They gave me a new copy, brought it home, did the same thing, and then I realized the PlayStation 3 was just so bad at download speeds that it took like literally 2 days to download Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, wow.
It was so long, like it was crazy.
Yeah, I
Um,
went home, installed the shit, and it took like 2 hours to install off the disc. And then, oh shit. Silver Summer Shimmer, what's going on? Somebody you know, Pop?
um, I honestly don't know.
Perhaps.
No, because the account was created 36 minutes ago.
Oh.
So, um,
But so yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of PS3 games.
Puppeteer is one of the gems that I found. It's a great
Um,
game. Catherine was awesome.
Catherine, yeah. Uh, Little Big Planet,
Ooh,
obviously.
1, 2, and 3.
Yep, really good games.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Wasn't there like Resident Evil 5 and 6 was on there?
yeah, but I'm not. Those games are terrible.
Doing well, Silver. How are you?
Uh, the Arkham Asylum and
Oh
Arkham City,
man.
so good.
Wasn't there a good like Midnight Club dub
Burnout
edition or something? Oh,
Paradise was
Burnout
on
Paradise, yep.
PS3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Wow, your camera's like flickering and being all crazy.
oh shit, I don't know what's going on.
Nah, it was weird.
Yeah,
Bioshock.
Bioshock. See, I didn't. Bioshock was one though that I didn't play on the PlayStation 3. I played it at my friend's house because it was an Xbox exclusive for a while.
Metal Gear Solid 4, there was a cool Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 is dope. Did you see they posted up that the Metal Gear uh, PlayStation 3, the like gunmetal version? It's like so nice.
No.
I'll
Where is that?
yeah, Twitter, the PlayStation Twitter account posted it. It's like a. I don't think it was like branded as Metal Gear, but it came out when Metal Gear 4 came out. Uh, what is
Can't even.
PlayStation's Twitter account? PlayStation. I mean, people. I don't.
What a great show we're doing here.
Yeah, right.
I have Little Big Planet 3. Yeah, Silver, that's a great game. It's kind of a bummer that when they took the servers down, you know?
It is. Um, Here, I'm going to
I'm
post
actually
it
on their
in the Discord.
on their Twitter right now.
It is this one.
See, it's hard for me to go to the Discord without.
Oh, without fucking with
That's
the camera.
fine. I'll check it. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it came out with Metal Gear Solid 4, but it's like a gunmetal PS3 and the gunmetal DualShock. It's nice.
No, that's freaking cool. Little Big Planet 3 on PS4. I have that as well. I got the one that came with the little plushie. Yeah, the Sackboy plush.
Sackboy. Yeah, I have that too. But let's see. Oh, I mean, one of my favorite games ever. Fucking Skyrim, dude.
Ooh, yeah. Great
So
game.
much time was put into Skyrim. um, uh, the Resistance series is pretty good.
Yep. Those-
There's been a lot of like rumblings of a remaster of the series because Sony owns um, whoever made them now. People
how,
that made Spider.
how about a few little games called Uncharted 2, 3, Last of Us,
Last of Us.
God of War
So good.
3,
Yep.
Heavy
God of War
Rain,
Ascension.
Demon Souls,
One of those
Killzone
ones.
2, Fallout 3,
Definitely like
Ratchet
Call
and
of
Clank.
Duty
Oh yeah.
had
Bo-
its rise in the PlayStation 3 era.
Infamous.
Infamous is really good. Demon Souls,
Yep.
never played it, but people love that game.
Yep. Borderlands. Heavenly
Um,
Sword was a launch title. Great game.
Journey is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm a fan of Beyond Two Souls. I know people are.
Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption, yep.
Yeah, PS3 was great. And so PS3 and the PS Vita could talk to each other. That was cool. That was like the first form of remote play. Oh, you know what else came out on PS3? It's worth mentioning. That spawned like a whole fucking movement. Is Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars,
Mm,
the
yeah.
predecessor to Rocket League. Cool game.
Yeah. Valkyria Chronicles, really good.
Never played it.
It's like a strategy game. I don't know. Heavenly Sword also.
Oh yeah, I
Solid
just said
game.
that. Yeah, launch title.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a really good one.
Yep.
I
There was
actually just picked up a copy of that the other day.
what was the one with the free running? That was cool.
Oh, Mirror's Edge.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We were talking about it before. All the Assassin's Creed games that were on.
Yeah. I can't remember if I think Black Flag was like one of those hybrid games.
It
where
was on 3 and 4.
3 and 4, and I think I played it on PlayStation 4.
It was
but
also on the Wii U.
Black Flag. That's where you gotta play it. That's the experience you need.
Oh yes. We got games like PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Oh yeah, dude. The first true battle royale game.
Yeah. Except that it was Smash.
Yeah, exactly.
Did we say? Well, we didn't even talk about it for PS2.
Shadow of the Colossus.
How'd you know? Yeah.
Because I saw it on here and I was like, fuck, we forgot about that. Yeah, it's great. Although I will say, like, I feel like that's one worth mentioning on the PS4. I feel like that's how you have to play that game now.
I mean, we could talk
The
about
frame rate just makes it.
we could talk about the Vita, but there's not much to say. Hot Shots
Yeah,
Golf,
I never had
Uncharted.
one.
There's
Um,
some cool stuff to play on there, but
Persona 4 is like one that people always talk about.
yeah.
But
But PS4, I mean, you just did the list goes on and on and on. Heavy hitters like nonstop. I mean, right off the bat, when you talk about, I mean, you got The Last of Us made its way onto the PS4, remastered with better shaders and frame rates and all that.
the DLC was included,
Ooh,
which I did.
yes, best DLC ever.
I didn't play that on the PlayStation 3, so that was like a new experience for me on PlayStation
Same here.
4.
Same here. But you got your God of War, you got Horizon Zero Dawn, you've got
Bloodborne.
ooh, yes.
What else is there? Until Dawn, really good. Spider-Man.
Wow. Remarkable game.
Yeah, great.
Uncharted 4.
I still stand by it. No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
This is my My baby.
I mean, the PS4 is still operating, it's still doing
Yeah.
big things.
Yeah, I mean, debatably, like there's still some of the like biggest games to come out on PlayStation 4, like Last of Us 2 and the whatever Sucker. I can't think of that game. It's the one I was referencing earlier, the Sucker Punch game. It's the like Arkham style ninja game. I can't think of it.
Sekiro,
No,
Neo.
no, it hasn't come out yet.
Oh,
Neo 2's coming out soon.
yeah.
People are excited for that.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima, yeah.
Yeah.
That one still they've like I think just recently said like no, that's definitely a PS4 game, not a PS5. So like that's still coming at some point this
Mm-hmm.
year. Um,
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, yeah, that's gonna be a
Final
big one.
Fantasy VII remake.
Which we can kind of bring this up because I actually had the collector's edition pre-ordered and I canceled it because I'm not trying to pay $300 like 5 months early.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. I don't know
So
why they.
here's the thing. Up until this point, I always was like, what the fuck? Why, when I order something on Amazon, do I need to worry about the money being there, you know, potentially 2, 3, 4 months down the road? Like, I want to buy it and secure my copy now, take my money now. And if something happens with the game, refund me my money. But I was always against the idea of paying later. But now, when I think about it, I feel like it should be just like when you reserve a game at GameStop. Put down however much you want, like $5 or more,
Yeah.
to reserve this game. And when it comes time to ship it, you better give us the rest of the money. That's up to you. Or you could pay the entire thing off when you feel like it. But one way or the other, you got to pay the whole amount. But this weird thing where Square is saying, okay, we're going to charge you now for a game that's not coming out till March. It's like, if you had just said that originally, then there'd be no issue because everybody would know. But you're just like, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, we're going to start charging now.
Yeah.
And I
It's
saw
so
somebody on
strange.
Reddit point out to like, maybe they just need some money to finish fucking the game.
Yeah. No, it's like this weird. See, like I'm like the opposite of you, where it's like I like will almost always default to pre-ordering stuff on Amazon
Mhm.
because I like the fact that they don't charge me in cases like you know Days Gone, for example, right? Like I pre-ordered the collector's edition of that game, looked great. Like I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be sick. And then a month before it comes out, the reviews start coming out and like, hey, this game not great. Like lots of bugs. Like you might want to hold off when it comes out, right? And it's like, okay, then I can go in and I can just cancel my pre-order and I've lost nothing, right?
Yeah,
Or
but
I
how do you
can,
get the cool plastic statue?
well, because it's a bad game, it doesn't sell out, and then I get it for $50 less a couple months later. So
Did you get the Death Stranding special edition?
no, I canceled that one last minute just because I didn't have like the money was kind of tight right then,
Yeah.
and so I had to like I had no choice. I had to cancel it. I really wanted it though. I'm upset that I didn't
Did
do
you
it because
manage to secure
that
the?
baby is so cool.
Did you secure the Ellie edition of Last of Us 2?
Yeah, I actually have both of them.
Oh, so the right, okay.
I have both pre-ordered on Amazon.
Wait, what's the other one? Just the next one down?
Yeah, like couldn't decide if I wanted to pay $100 for a backpack. So I was like, I don't know, I'll pre-order both and figure it out later. Which is the good thing about Amazon; they don't charge you, so I can do that. Um,
Well, if you decide that you want the lesser one, maybe keep both pre-orders because maybe I want that
yeah.
other one.
See, it'd probably be the other way around. I'll
Yeah.
probably keep the more expensive one and then just
Yeah.
cancel the other one or sell it or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there you go.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I
There's a lot
guess,
of PS4 games.
a lot of PS4 games. We're just kind of going down the list of all these different games. But, I don't think I'm going to make it to the 2 hour mark tonight, I'm being honest with you. But I think
Yeah, no, you're good.
we could probably talk about what do you think is next. Like, what do you think the PS5 and the state of play and, like, what.
Yeah,
I know they said that they weren't going to talk about it, so
Yeah,
two separate
I was actually
things.
gonna bring this up because it's like I wanted to ask you, like, do you feel like, you look at the last 25 years, only 4 consoles have come out, right? Do
If
you
you don't count the
feel like it's
handhelds.
time? Yeah, if you don't count the handhelds.
Hmm.
Do you feel like it's time for another PlayStation console to come out?
No, I honestly feel like the PS4 could keep going.
See, I feel the same way. Like I feel like
And
the
I think it
PlayStation
will, though.
3.
The PS3 went on for a while
Yeah,
the PS4 was still doing its thing. And I think that's what's going to happen is you're going to squeeze the most out of the PS4 that you can. And then you're going to see the
yeah,
same games being optimized for PS5.
yeah.
And then crazy deals where they're like, trade us your PS4 and get fucking $150 off your PS5, or something like that.
I agree. I feel like it's one of those things where like the end of the PlayStation 3 started to come around and it was like, okay, like there's kind of a significant like jump here in like I feel like PlayStation 3 games are the best that they're going to get, like graphics wise. And then
Yeah.
like they show off a PlayStation 4 game, it's like, okay, clearly there's a jump here.
Hmm.
Where like I feel like with the PlayStation 4, it's like, man, The Last of Us 2 looks better than anything I've ever played, and that's a Cyberpunk looks better than anything I've played. Like it seems like there's still kind of room there. So I don't know. It just feels like it feels too soon to me, I guess.
Well,
But
it's still a year away, and you got to see like how well are these really demanding games gonna run. Do you have a
yeah,
pro?
for sure. Yeah, I bought a Pro for VR.
Right.
So,
So
but yeah,
I
I
guess
mean,
only time will tell. But I'm excited more about what the hardware is going to be capable of and what like you know, if you want to play a good high fidelity, high quality game, you can do that right now. It's easy. You can pop
yeah,
it in your PS4, you go on your PC, you go on your Xbox, whatever you got to do. PS5, okay, the graphics again are going to be a little better. The load times are going to be a little quicker, and then what? You know what I mean?
yeah,
I like the quirky gimmicks and all these definitive people saying definitively, oh, there's no light bar, and like, how the fuck do you know? You don't even
yeah,
know. There could be a light bar. Maybe maybe this HD rumble that they're gonna apply the way that Nintendo did is gonna revolutionize the way you play games on a PlayStation. I'm just excited about
yeah.
all that stuff. You know?
Yeah, to like, because I kind of answered your question that you initially asked me with asking you a question, but uh, I feel like the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, and I'm like, I'm fingers crossed, I'm getting my hopes up, but I really hope that somehow they figure out how to make the PlayStation 5 just any physical PlayStation game you own, you can play on this thing. Like, that would be like that's like the selling point there. If they say,
Yeah.
yeah, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 3, like all of them work on here, that's like a easy cop for me because it's like,
And something tells me it's not gonna be. It's gonna be like, yeah, I can play all these old games digitally. You just have to
yeah,
download them. Like that'll
yeah,
make people mad. I think.
um,
We'll see. We
yeah.
will
I don't know.
see.
We'll see. They've already said PlayStation 4 for sure is going to be backwards compatible, but there was like rumors and patents filed and shit for like older stuff. So I got my fingers crossed. I really hope that they somehow pull that off because that's like uh, my number one thing right now for the PlayStation 5.
It would be
Is let me
crazy.
use one box to just do everything.
It would be nuts. I'd be happy about that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I'm gonna call it. Nobody's watching. I'm out of it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking just
No,
like
I feel you, man.
struggling here. It's
I feel that.
what time is it? Oh, almost 2. We made it an hour and 20 minutes. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Just talking about PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I
other
mean,
topics.
some of those other topics were kind of quick. Like I feel like gonna be super quick anyway.
Yeah.
Like the Halo one. Like I didn't really have much to say other than, hey, I played Halo on PC the other day.
Star
That was
Citizen
it.
made like hundreds of millions of dollars so far with
Yeah,
its crowdfunding. It's crazy.
that game is ridiculous. The streamer one I thought was kind of stupid. Like
Eh,
not the topic itself, but just like the fact that like, does anybody really care? Like I don't know. Like
That guy and the people who watch his channel, and that's
it's
probably it.
like hey, I stream 19 hours a day for a whole month.
Yeah,
Like that seems really not healthy at all. Like
I told my girlfriend that, and she was like, "Oh my god."
yeah, like I don't know,
But I mean,
but yeah,
good for him, I guess.
yeah.
So yeah, man, I think that. Oh, and I just fucked up. I just fucked up. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Hopefully next week we.
There should be a shit ton of stuff to talk about
Oh
next week.
yeah, because
Got the
are we
state
gonna
of
try
play
and do
planned.
the live react to the Game Awards on
Yeah, I
Thursday
mean,
night?
I'm in. If you want to do it, I'm down.
I'm down for that too. Let's
And
see what
Twitch
happens.
sent out an email. They said you could rebroadcast it, so it's like
Awesome.
no issue there.
That's what we're gonna do then. Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna pop this on the outro screen. So, say what you gotta say. Where can people find you?
Pop that baby maker on Twitch. I'm probably gonna stream soon because I don't have a job.
Nice.
Follow me. Yeah.
All right, go follow Pop That Baby Maker at Pop That Baby Maker. Peace out, yo.
Peace.